Thank you for attending today's webinar titled End-to-End Document Management. My name is Brittany Herman. I'm a marketing coordinator here at Aktion Associates. Before we begin, I would like to cover a few housekeeping notes. At the bottom of your screen, you will see multiple widgets which you can move around and resize to customize to your viewing experience. For example, if you would like to enlarge the slide area, you can click the arrows at the top right of the corner of the widget. If you have any questions during the webcast, you can submit them via Q&A widget. We will do our best to answer them during the webcast, but if a fuller answer is needed, we will run out of time. It will be answered later via email. Please know though, we do capture all questions asked. This webcast is being streamed through your computer, smartphone, or tablet, so there is no dial-in number. For the best audio quality, please make sure that your speakers or headset are turned on and the volume is up. Some networks cause slides to advance more slowly than others. If you are logged in via VPN, it is recommended to disconnect during the duration of this webcast. You can also try refreshing your page or by pressing F5 on your keyboard if the slides are out of sync. We do encourage you to use the most current version of your browser to ensure that you have the best experience today. And a quick reminder that this webcast is being recorded and you will receive a link to the recording via email later today. With all that being said, I would like to go ahead and introduce you to our presenters today. We are joined by Jared Gator, a marketing coordinator here at Aktion Associates. He will be talking a little bit about Aktion and who we are. Then he will be passing it over to Paul Bushell, a sales executive with SDSI, here to talk about UnForm. So our agenda today is to talk about Aktion, the print management and e-delivery, document archiving, UnForm Image Manager, UnForm Doc Flow. We'll have a quick demo today by Paul, and then we'll end with our Q&A. With all that being said, I will pass it over to Jared now.
Perfect. Thanks for the introduction, Britt. So some quick information here about Aktion Associates. As a reminder, we are more than 200 employees now, closer to about 230. We're more than 6,500 customers here at Aktion Associates. We're a national ERP software reseller and IT infrastructure provider focused on the architectural engineering and construction, and real estate, distribution, and manufacturing industries. We have 2 company-owned data centers, one located where I am in our headquarters here in Maumee, Ohio, which is about a half-hour south of Toledo, Ohio. And then we also have another second geo-redundant location in Charlotte, North Carolina. We're number 16 on the 2022 top VAR 100 list. We're also a 2023 top workplace award winner. As far as our Infor partnerships concerned, though, we are the largest North American distribution partner and have been a gold partner with them for more than 25 plus years now. As far as our partnership with SDSI is concerned, though, we've been a partner with them for more than 20 years. We've really wanted to get with them to extend the functionality of the ERPs, especially our Infor customers, so that we can get the UnForm full suite into their solution set. So as far as what UnForm does, it provides best of breed document management solution that creates, captures, organizes, stores, and routes documents to streamline your day-to-day business processes. All of our Infor distribution solutions have proven integrations, and we have a deep bench of consultants here to help you achieve your goal of becoming nearly paperless. During the webinar today, Paul will give you an overview of UnForm's complete end-to-end document management solution. Following this session, I do invite you to connect with your Aktion sales rep to further explore your options. However, at this time, I'm going to go ahead and advance the slide and pass things over to Paul. So Paul, whenever you're ready, please feel free.
Great. Thanks, Jared and Brittany. Appreciate that. Just real quick, we've been around since 1988. We've got, a lot of folks running our various applications around the world. I think probably most of you on this call are running our print management solution today. We've also got one of our other products is our Cirrus Print solution that came out about 3.5, 4 years ago that helps simplify printing when you move applications to the cloud. We've got several thousand Infor customers. We've been working with Infor users for over 25 years. This solution's available for all the Infor Distribution ERPs, including Cloud Suite, A+ Fax, and of course SXE. Just a little bit about my background real quick. I've been in the distribution business for my entire career. I've worked, at a distributor and have used an Infor product in the past and have been in the document management space for about 15 to 20 years now. So been doing this for a while. Anyway, wanted to just kind of give you a quick background there. So UnForm, SDSI, of course, is our company. It's Synergetic Data Systems. UnForm is the primary application that we publish. And again, most of you probably are using our print management solution, which enables you to generate forms and reports that can, of course, be printed, emailed, or faxed. And it's a very robust forms application, so you can do a lot of different things with it and make sure that your forms are, professional quality and look and behave the way you want them to. We also, in addition to the forms management, we have a full suite of document management solutions. So our archive is where documents are stored and linked together. So as documents are printed through UnForm, they're automatically pushed into the archive. And then we have Image Manager, which is the application we use to capture either external documents like packing slips, vendor invoices, customer purchase orders, those kinds of things. Or it may be a document that you generated and have added value to, like a signed proof of delivery. You bring it in through Image Manager. And Image Manager, once we hit version 10, it's very different from previous versions. It was a complete rewrite. It is now written in the same language as the print management solution. So it shares the same programming capabilities as well. Image Manager has the ability to monitor what we call inbound sources. They can be directories where documents are either scanned to, or if you're dragging and dropping documents, you can bring those in via directories. Image Manager monitors those, and then based on what we call a job definition, it will know what needs to happen to those documents as they come in. We can also monitor mailboxes with version 10 and up of Image Manager. So if you're having, kind of a typical example of this would be vendors and suppliers that are emailing invoices to you. We can monitor a mailbox, pick those documents up and process those automatically as they come in. And again, they get pushed into the archive from there. And again, as documents come into the archive, we're linking them together based on common indexing information. So if they share, PO numbers, invoice numbers, those kinds of things that are automatically linked as they hit the archive, regardless of how they got there. So whether it was printed through UnForm, whether it was scanned in, or whether it was an electronic copy captured, from an email. If they share common indexing information, they're linked together so that once you found one end of a transaction, it's very easy to find any of the other documents associated with it. Excuse me. Documents that are in the archive are then available for our DocFlow application. And DocFlow gives you the ability to route documents based on your business rules. So it's a configurable application. So based on whatever your particular business rules are, kind of some of the standard examples are in accounts payable. If you have, as documents come in, you can have them hit a DocFlow that helps you to do the three-way match as it comes in. So they can come in, as an invoice comes in, we can, compare to purchase orders and packing slips and do a three-way match. And then from there, assuming everything's okay, we can move it along through the process. And if for some reason there is an issue with it, then it can be routed appropriately for problem resolution. And as it goes through a DocFlow, we're logging and tracking what's happened to it, who's done what to it. So there's an audit trail of that document as it passes through the DocFlow. DocFlow can also be used to configure electronic signature capture. So that could be either in the field on a, on a mobile device or at the counter. You can set up signature capture with documents utilizing the DocFlow application. And then we also have the ability, when documents come through Image Manager and hit Archive, we can actually extract information off of those documents that can be used to generate an electronic transaction. So as it comes through Image Manager and hits Archive, we can extract the data from a document, for example, an accounts payable invoice, and generate an electronic transaction that can be used to bring that document in to the application, so that you don't have to do the data entry. So, you can use it for, APs typically where we see it used, but it can also be used on inbound customer orders and other business documents as well. So again, it's a complete suite of applications that manage a document from, either from creation of it or to the receipt of it, until ultimately the transaction's completed. And then again, it's stored electronically, so that, not only is it easier to access as needed, but it's also, a sound disaster recovery solution as well, so that those business critical documents, when you've stored them electronically, you can have a backup offsite. Should anything happen, you can restore those and be back up and running. So again, I think probably most of you on this call are familiar with our print management and e-delivery module. It's used to generate forms and reports, and it gives you the ability to fax or email those out. And it also has, very advanced printing features, so you can have various types of barcodes on it. It does foreign language support, and it can support multiple streams as well. So whether it's just text data or XML data or whatever that data is, it can take that data, parse it into a professional form or report for you. And then the archive, again, the goal there is to, instead of manually filing all those documents, it gives you the ability to store them electronically. So, you file them one time, and then they're available for retrieval as needed. And, in this example, we're looking at, we've got a check along with the purchase order, packing slip, and the invoice. And, if you think about that transaction, if you were managing this thing manually, some of those documents are probably filed and refiled 3 or 4 times before that transaction is completed. So, being able to just do it one time is a tremendous time saver. And with Image Manager, again, this is version 10 and up. We're currently on version 10.1 is the current release, but it was a complete rewrite from previous versions of Image Manager. Now, your earlier versions of Image Manager, if you're on an earlier version, your jobs will work in version 10 until you can get a chance to get those updated. But it is now completely browser-based. The whole application is, and we've added some additional functionality to help capture data from that. So we've got some of the technologies we can use if you're bringing in documents, and we see this more and more with, documents coming in via email that have been generated by an application, are typically PDFs that have a text layer on them. In that case, we're able to actually read the text data off that PDF, straight off of that PDF, and we can get that data off of there accurately 100% of the time, so that we can automate that whole process of getting that document not only indexed, but if you need to, we can actually get line detail from it as well to help with data entry. We also have 2 different levels of optical character recognition now. There's a built-in engine for OCR that does a pretty good job, and if it's a decent quality document, you get good results with it. But if you do have documents that need a more powerful OCR engine, we have an optional add-on AI-driven OCR engine that is very, very accurate, that we can use if you have documents that aren't making it through the standard OCR. And the nice thing about that is you only have to run that on documents that absolutely have to have it. So it's not an all or nothing thing. And of course, we can read barcodes off of documents, and we can also do data validation. So we can validate data that we've extracted from that document against the ERP. So we can validate that that vendor number, PO number combination exists, those kinds of things. So we can also do the math on documents, make sure we got all the information off of there appropriately. So those data validations are just a way to help ensure that we've extracted that data as accurately as possible. And then the doc flow, again, this is very, it's new from version 9. It was a complete rewrite, and again, it's set up to be configurable based on whatever your particular business process is. So it can be built based around your business process. So if you have, again, good example is an accounts payable. Typically, we've got 2 different doc flows. We've got one for trade invoices that issue POs for that require a 3-way match prior to payment, versus an expense type invoice that probably needs to be routed to either a manager or a warehouse location, or it may need to pass through a controller, CFO, whatever, for approval prior to being paid. So those are kind of the 2 different flows we see in accounts payable, and they can be built again around whatever your particular process is. And they help to ensure that folks are complying with that process, and we are keeping an audit trail as that document passes through the doc flow, so that we know who's supposed to be working on it, who approved it or didn't, and if it sits in a flow too long, if it's sitting there too long, we can set up reminders to say, hey, someone has some stuff they need to look at, so need to kind of hustle them along. So again, very useful tool to help manage some of those paper processes that can be kind of grueling, when you're having to move the paper back and forth. DocFlow helps you do that automatically and electronically. And then let me flip over here, and we're going to take a quick look at a couple of different things. And so what we're looking at is the main page here. So in version 10 and up, it is completely browser based. So it's very easy to deploy. We have, the primary tools we're going to look at today are Archive, Image Manager, and DocFlow. Archive, again, is where we're storing all the documents, and they're organized based on what we call libraries, and libraries are typically logical groupings of documents based on a job function. So accounts payable, accounts receivable, whatever the particular job function is. And then within a library, you have all the various documents associated with that particular function. And then, the goal here is to get all these documents into the archive so that they're all in here, they're all linked together, so that if you're working on, in this example, if I need to sign a check, I've got a copy of it that was captured as it was printed. We've got invoice and PO information on that check, so we're able to link it back to those documents as well. So from here, if I need to, I can pop up all the other documents related. So in this example, if I'm reviewing a check to sign it, I've got all that backup available to me straight from the UnForm archive. And again, if you kind of think about this process, a lot of these documents may have been filed and refiled multiple times prior to getting to this process. So being able to just get them in there one time and then have them available from here is just a huge time saver. Image Manager, again, this is where the application we use to capture external documents, and they can come either in through directories that we're monitoring, so we can monitor directories, so you can scan to or drag and drop documents into a directory, and then based on the setup of that particular monitored inbound source. We can determine what we want to have happen to those documents as they come in. Could be an email address as well. So we can monitor an email address. And again, as documents hit that email box, we can define what we want to have happen to that. And this could be, an email address that you've got folks, vendors and suppliers sending stuff to, or customers sending stuff to. But it can also be an email address that you set up and you forward documents to after you've received them. So, for an good example of that would be if you're getting customer purchase orders via email. You can, you get the customer PO, you open it, key it in. Once you've got an order, sales order created, you can then forward that purchase order to one of those monitored addresses, and in the subject line, put the sales order number in there. And then we can use that to actually index that document. So again, it's an electronic document as it comes in. There's no reason to print it out, scan it, and get it into the system. You can either forward it to one of those email addresses or drag and drop it into a directory and have it come in from there. So if it's already an electronic document, there's no need to scan it. And again, Image Manager can be used for a variety, your simple type of jobs. So, bringing packing slips is a great use for that. And, when a packing slip comes in, they're not always the most carefully handled documents. So, with a packing slip, what we can do is once you've keyed in a PO number, we can actually look up additional information from your ERP and pull that in. So real quick and easy way to get those in. We can read barcodes as they come in. So if it's got a barcode on it, in this case representing an order number, we can read the barcode, get that order number, and again, pull additional information from either the ERP or if it's data in UnForm, can pull it from there as well. And of course, you can have jobs that come in, and depending on what ERP you're using, it's the wrong one, let me show you. So we can actually pull all the invoice information off of a document. This is a vendor invoice. We're able to get header information, and we're able to actually get all the line detail off of this as well. So we can capture all that data and again use that information to generate an electronic transaction and push that over into the ERP. And then very quickly, doc flow is a way to route the documents that are coming in. And again, you can build those doc flows based on whatever your particular business rules are. So if I have invoices that require approvals, I can set those up and have those flow through the doc flow. As a document arrived, it would alert whoever has the first step in that flow that they have documents to review. And again, they can be configured based on a variety of things. So if you have dollar values that trigger who needs to approve invoices, you can base it on a dollar value and send it to the appropriate person based on whatever their approval levels are. You can add attachments while you're in doc flow. So if you have some additional documents you need to add while you're in here to support whatever it is you're doing, you can do that. And then the actions, again, are defined based on whatever your particular process is. And then as it goes through and we hit save, you'll note that everything gets logged. So you have an audit trail of that. And then as that document completes its flow, any attachments and any notes and things like that are pushed back into the archive along with the audits trail, so you can review that document and archive and see what happened to it as it went through the flow. And then, of course, in addition to being able to search for documents in the UnForm browser that has multiple methods, if you're looking for a specific document, use one. If you need to browse across multiple libraries and document types, you can do that. And then you can create and save searches as well. And we've also got the ability within the various applications depending on which one you are using to launch documents from within those inquiries. So if you're on, a PO inquiry, I'm able to get to all the documents that are related to that particular PO from within the ERP itself. So again, I know that's kind of a very quick and high level overview of the application, but at this point, I think we've got a few minutes left, so I wanted to see if we have any questions.
Perfect. I will go ahead and see if we have any questions. It does look like we have a few, so I will push those to the front of the screen for us. All right, so it says, does UnForm work with fax?
Of course it does, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me go ahead.
The fax integration is very thorough.
Okay. Looks like we have another one here. And it says, can UnForm help automate data entry?
Yes, it can. We talked a little bit about that in the demo itself, but it can. And it, again, depending on which ERP you're using, that kind of determines how that's done. With, some ERPs, we, piggyback off of EDI functionality. So essentially, we turn the paper document into an EDI transaction. With others, they have the ability to import a CSV file. So we just generate whatever, file format that's looking for. And then with other ERPs, I think with the A+ application, it get pushed into the offline order files. So yeah, it can help automate data entry. And the method is based on whatever the target ERP application is looking for. So, again, very flexible tool that can be used to automate data entry for a variety of processes.
Perfect. I will go ahead. It doesn't look like there's anything else in there, so I will go ahead and advance. So I want to thank you all for coming today, and I want to throw it over to Paul or Jared and see if they have any final remarks for us.
All right, awesome. Thanks, Britt. So it doesn't look like we have any other questions. So again, thank you everybody for joining today's session. We really do hope that you found value in it. I don't have anything really else to add at this point. I do want to again thank everybody, though. As an Aktion customer, we really do feel that SDSI and UnForm solution is a great fit for you. If you do have any other questions, though, your Aktion sales rep will follow up with you accordingly. So make sure you'll be on the lookout for that. Paul, did you have anything else you'd like to add, though?
I was just going to say thank you for your time today. And if you have any specific questions, feel free to reach out to us, and we can help you with whatever it is you guys are trying to do.
All right. I want to thank you all again just for attending, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day.